So I was watching a YouTube video and the dude was talking about how it was pretty much about life and shit like that. But there was a point in the video, he said that the Bible, he said something about evil people use the Bible to pretty much not be more evil than what they are. They try to use the Bible to stay on a particular set of guidelines to cover up the wickedness. And they feel like as long as they stay on those guidelines that, you know, they not evil or whatever. And then it got me thinking back to when I was like, I don't believe in religion. You know, I always say that I believe in certain shit that I see in the Bible as far as like wisdom and stuff. I take that into account because it's a reality around me. But I didn't need the Bible to clarify to me what's going on around me. You would have to believe in the Bible to go, oh, in the Bible it said women are like this and people are like this, and that's how it really is. You need some book to make you believe in what you see around you. I say all that to say this. I think that the Bible is for evil people. For people who inherently are evildoers and wrong people. I think that's why, though, like, my whole life, right? Like, when I was a kid, I remember going to church and I remember being extremely fucking bored. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, I was bored. I didn't understand it. Because I'm like, if this is supposed to be us praising and worshiping our Creator and Jesus, our Savior, and all of this stuff, like, why am I bored? Why this shit ain't resonating within me? Why does not lighten the spark inside of me? And my aunties and shit used to make me feel like I was the devil or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like, is something wrong with me? Am I evil deep down inside? The reason why I'm rebelling against this? You know, I had aunties that would tell my brothers and shit, you know, that they was going to hell. I had aunties and my grandma and shit would make me seem like I was hellbound. They didn't necessarily tell me I was going to hell, but they definitely would say shit on the guidelines of me going to hell. And like, I always used to think to myself, like, I thought these are the same people who tried to teach me that no one knows who's going to heaven or hell, only God knows. So how the hell are they sitting up here telling me pretty much that my sins are horrible or whatever, and that my brothers are going to hell? Like, that shit didn't make sense to me. So I began to look at people around me at church and stuff. You know, I would look at the older women, and I'm like, these bitches is coming to church dressed with skin-tight clothing. Some of them ain't got no bras on, titties jiggling all over the place when they jumping up and clapping and dancing. Clearly, you can see some of them ain't got no panties on or got on thongs or some shit to allow their ass cheeks to bounce in their dresses and shit. You know, makeup, weave. I'm looking at the dudes coming up in there, like, just looking like pure player simps. You see what I'm saying? Like, haircuts, swag, cologne. Like, they coming to the club or something like that. Then I'm realizing that all the younger chicks my age and stuff, you know, this is pretty much starting off as fucking probably in the middle school, I can remember. You know, the little young chicks up in there was mad fast. You know, dude, like, they having sex in the church and shit like that. You know, and I'm just sitting up here thinking to myself, like, these are some evil people, because this shit that I wouldn't even do, you know? Like, if I believe in this shit like that and I worship, I don't even really believe in this shit. And I'm like, damn, like, how you believe in this shit and you coming up in here doing this? I'm talking about young people who was involved in like the church clubs and shit like that, particular activity groups and shit, who were well known. They were doing a lot of fucked up shit up in the church. My own grandmother and mother were fucked up people. You know what I'm saying? Like, they was doing a lot of fucked up shit, listening to certain type of music, like all type of shit. But they felt like they were protected by this Bible. They felt like everything was good, right? So as I got older, I thought like, well, maybe it's just my church and the people in my church that's fucked up people. Maybe I just need to venture off and go find a different church or something. So I would do that. People would, like, I began to just be upfront with people about shit, and people would invite me to their churches. You see what I'm saying? And I would go, and I tried to force myself to believe in this stuff and to do this stuff. The main thing, the hardest thing was that this shit was boring. Like, church was just boring as fuck, But, I tried to trick myself into thinking that I have to mature myself in order to be able to sit through this. You know what I'm saying? So I found myself going to churches, and I think deep down inside, I'm going to just honestly admit, the reason why I think I was going and I was kind of enjoying my time there was because at the time I was single. You know what I'm saying? I, was just trying to be a player, whatever you want to call it. I was actually looking for a particular female that I may have wanted to be with, because, the ones that I were used to messing around with were just fucked up. So I thought that I had to find this chick in church, which that was just all bullshit too. But anyways, I would go to these churches and I would be like, oh, I can rock here because there's a couple cuties up in here, whatever, So I would get engaged with the people there. And then I would find out, like, these fucking girls is thoughts, man. I'm sitting up here thinking, you could find a good girl in church. These chicks is up in church because they're good girls. I'm finding out the same shit from when I was younger in my church. Like, everybody, the drummer, fucking 50 million chicks up in here. You see what I'm saying? But he's going up preaching, talking about you men shouldn't be sleeping with multiple women. You got the young preachers who would have the little weekends where they would preach and shit like that. I never understood that shit. Like, how you up there fucking trying to speak to everybody? You got all these people clapping their hands to you and shit like that. Praise the Lord to you. Nigga, you bagging all type of females up in here. But yet you trying to criticize the dudes and shit, everybody else for their behavior. And then the other thing was, why the fuck is they having church on a Sunday? I thought church was supposed to have been for the last day of the week. Now, my mother church, that 7-day event and shit, so they had church on Saturday, but still, like, they was so wicked up in that church. And then the Sunday church, I never got it because it's like, again, it's the first day of the week. Y'all celebrate on the wrong day, right? But overall, I just noticed the quality of people in the churches. They were wicked. They knew how to repeat scriptures. This is before I actually read the Bible myself. But these people were repeating scriptures. They were memorizing shit, and I'm just feeling like I'm a lackey. I'm far behind. I'm hellbound, because I don't know none of this shit. But then I started to realize, like, wait, I'm a better person than all of these people up in here, even including the fucking pastor, because I'm not even finna tell nobody to pass around the collection plate to donate money while I got a nice house, nice car, and it's people up in here with their fucking lights off who's struggling and stuff like that, and I'm talking about give money to give to this church so the Lord can be happy. Dude, that's when I was like, if God is real, God would keep his own damn church up. That don't even make sense. How is God supposed to be this supreme spiritual, whatever you want to call it, entity, and this nigga can't keep his lights on in church? You mean to tell me America got their foot on God's neck even that hard and shit? White supremacy has his foot on God's neck that hard to where even God gotta pay to keep his lights on? Like, that shit don't make some sense to me, man. And like I said before, I'm not trying to hear shit about nobody saying this world being beautiful. Because like I stated before, this world is not beautiful. It's ugly. It's polluted. Grass and shit dying. Like I said, I think that we don't even know what true beauty is. But these church people and stuff, to them, they feel this is true beauty. And like I said, I think that the Bible is for evil people. You know, that God, or particular, whatever you want to call it, that religion is only for evil people to at least keep them at bay. I don't need that big ass book or to read that big ass book just to feel like, okay, like, I gotta make sure I follow all these guidelines. If you need all of that in order to feel some type of way about yourself, that's sad, man. That says a lot about who you are at the end of the day. Everything that I read for knowledge. I can read a fictional book, a fucking science fiction book, and the author can say some shit in there, you know, for one of the characters or something that's like wisdom. I will take that shit with me. I like the movie Star Wars so much. You know, at least a lot of the ones that had Yoda in it. You know, Phantom, pretty much them, when they did that episode 1, 2, and 3 shit, like, and the old ones before I was born, because those, like, there was a lot of wisdom in that shit. Lot of wisdom in that. Even when they got this thing where they say love turned the Jedi to the dark side. Like, a Jedi is supposed to be the supreme, highly moral individual. And they have certain things they can't do because it's almost like it's forbidden due to, it's like a fact that you will turn to the dark side. So it's kind of like, you know, if you are already married or already in a relationship or something like that, and you end up becoming a Jedi, you know, yeah, you don't necessarily have to leave who you with when you become a Jedi. You probably got to go through more trials, and this wasn't in the movies, this was like in the books and shit, but, you know, you got to go through more tests and exams and shit just to make sure you good. But other than that, though, nah, shit is forbidden, and it's like, it's true. You fall in love, you know, and what can it do? It can turn you to the dark side. It can make you go fucking nuts. It can make you go crazy. It can hurt you. Like I say, love leads to pain, pain leads to suffering, suffering leads to anger, anger leads to hate. Like, it's something like that, and it all leads to the dark side. Ain't no Bible tell me nothing like that. That shit that Yoda said was pretty much the realest shit, you know what I'm saying, for a man to carry with himself. And again, it didn't even come out the Bible. So I'm just an individual, an entity in existence on this planet, and I'm just floating about, you know. And I just say that because I'm just tired of religious people. And, you know, I'm just tired of religious people trying to tell me that I'm going through what I'm going through because I don't praise Allah, Jesus, God, or any of this shit. But yet these same people who praise and go every weekend are going through shit, or they probably got a lot of shit and material gain and saying they blessed. But I know for a fact I'm way more happy than they would ever be in their entire existence.